Hello my friend, and welcome to the third and final part of my mini-series all about mixing electric guitar. Today we're taking a look at mixing supportive rhythm electric guitar that kicks in when we need it to, but doesn't take over any of the lead lines within the mix. So we're keeping things simple, we're using just 3 plugins. Let's dive straight in.
Okay, so here we are with our track. Let's just take a listen. Just isolate out those guitars. So these are the rhythms that we're going to be working on today. Now before I start mixing anything, I always like to ask myself the question, what does this track need? Then there's 3 things that I want to address. I think this guitar needs a bit more excitement. It sounds a bit dull. It sounds really dull. Also sounds quite muddy, definitely needs to be cleared up, particularly as this guitar is performing a supportive role. We don't want it to be adding more mud already to our mix. And the guitar needs a bit more attack, just a bit more aggression. At the same time, we want to make these moves, but always thinking about serving the song and thinking about this rhythm guitar, bringing in and adding punch when it needs to, but not getting in the way and taking away from either our hook guitar lines or further down the line, probably more importantly, our vocals. So the first plugin I've dropped in is our channel strip. I've done a fair boost of saturation. That's going to address our excitement issues straight off the bat. Next up, in the high mids, I've done a fair 4 dB boost here at 4.7. Now when I'm doing this sweep around the high mids, I'm really looking for some more attack and some tone of the guitar that I like. It's so important to do that within the mix, and I want to show you why. And let me just move through these frequencies not being in the mix. And as I sweep through, it's kind of hard to make a judgment call at all, but when we bring it into the mix, you can hear down here at 2.2, even though the guitar sounded actually quite nice when it was in isolation, already it's jumbling up with the solo guitar, with the hook guitar, and it all sounds a bit cluttered. As we move higher up, we can hear that rhythm guitar sitting way better in the mix, and the whole song sounded a lot more balanced. So it's so important when you're mixing electric guitars to mix within the mix.
Hey my friend, just interrupting this video for a moment to let you know that I've put together a cheat sheet with 21 of my favourite home studio mix hacks so you can start making better mixes today. If you'd like to get hold of it, the link is in the description box below. Back to the video.
A couple of other moves I've done, just a little cut at 1 dB at 800 and a cut at 1.7 of 1.7 at 330, addressing some of that muddy issue. And then we've used our high pass and low pass filters too. With these filters, again, if you're in isolation, you can hear by the time I get to 270, it's really thinning them out. Again, within the mix. And they also sound too thin within the mix, so I'm just going to dial that back. Let's take a listen to the moves we've made. Channel strip off. Channel strip on. And then we just ask ourselves the question, have we addressed excitement? It sounds less muddy, definitely sounds a bit more exciting, it's got a bit more punch and attack to it. And crucially, it sounds better in the mix. Back on. So much work already done just with one plugin, just with our channel strip. Gonna do a couple more really simple moves. Brought in a subtle tape plugin. This is Tape from Softube. You can really go quite heavy with this for this job because it's a fairly subtle plugin. Tape's just going to help us to tame some of that digital harshness and some of that hairiness on the guitar. It's going to help glue them together as well. This is a double track guitar. Give it a bit of vibe too. And solo. Tape off. Tape on. And finally a bit of EQ. Just to tame out a little bit more of that mud. It's actually finding it still a little bit too muddy. And a little touch of a boost as well at 1.7, just for a bit more of that attack. If we just take a listen in solo at this frequency. Just thinning it out just a little bit more in that muddy area. And when you're making cuts like this, it's generally good to use a narrower cue so you're not really invading too much of the frequency spectrum. That's going to keep your tonality of your guitar and give you more of that natural sound. So with our EQ on and off. So again, just a little bit brighter. We've taken out a little bit more of that mud, a little bit more attack in the mix. So that's with our plugins on and with off. So we ask ourselves the question, have we brought more excitement? Have we got rid of some of that mud, more attack for the guitar? Yes, I definitely think we have. And we're still serving the song. That hook line's coming through. Our mix sounds 3D, a guitar sitting where we want it to sit. So successful rhythm electric guitar mixing with just 3 plugins, keeping things simple and musical. Now another top tip when you're mixing guitar like this, if you've got multi-layer guitars, it can sometimes be a bit difficult to hear what you're working on when you are working within the mix. So my tip for this is to drop any gain plugin on, give it a little bit of a boost. I've got mine here around 4 dB. And then mix with your gain plugin, make sure it's at the end of your plugin chain, otherwise of course you're going to be affecting the plugins it goes into. So just pop that at the end of your plugin chain. And then when you're working, you can really hear what guitar you're working on, and when you're done, just turn it off. So that was the third and final part of my mini-series all about mixing electric guitar. I hope you enjoyed that video today. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe, but most importantly, go have yourselves a great day.